Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is the Community Pod, and I am your host, Lester Class. Each and every episode is going to be filled with amazing stories from amazing people. You will hear the different journeys people went through, or are still going through, to be able to do what they love. From the failures to the successes and everything in between. This is a place to get to know the person behind their passion, because people only get to see the successes and not what it took to get there. If this is your first time tuning in, please subscribe and leave a review if you love the content. Now finally, I would love to welcome you to the Community Pod.
What's going on, everyone? This is the Community Pod. Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Mr. Class. I got an amazing artist in the building. I got Caesar in the building. What's going on?
How's it going, man? I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Would you be able to tell the people what it is that you do?
For a fact, my name is CeezSoCrazy. I'm an artist, songwriter, co-founder of FMB The Mob Entertainment. That's about it. I'm just music.
Got you.
Music.
All right. And so where is it that you're from?
I'm from Jersey.
You're
based
from
out of Jersey, born and raised. But I also spent time in New York as well.
Got you. So what was life like growing up in New Jersey for yourself?
Growing up in Jersey, it was cool. I was born in Patterson, grew up in Elmwood Park till I was probably like 13. Growing up in the village was cool. It was apartments with my grandmother, my mom's, my sister, and everything. It was pretty cool, but it started getting to a bad area, so my mom relocated us up into Ringwood area. And then that's when I was like, all right, because I went from one area that was very different and diverse to a completely area that's just strictly one thing. Mm-hmm. And they're very tunnel vision. So I was like, all right, let me come with something different. And that's when I started to really make music.
Got you. And from what you just told me, right, mm-hmm. I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, but you grew up in an environment where it was predominantly women.
Yeah. Until my step-pop came in, yeah.
Got you. So what was life like growing up with so many women of, influence?
Man, it's love. It's love all around. You truly be in love, like in all ways. Comforting. Like my father's there too, but mm-hmm. He's a lot more strict, a lot more hard. That's just how pops is. So you're not gonna get the love from your mother that you're gonna get from your father. Mm-hmm. So growing up with females is cool because you get love and comfort all around in the best ways. But then it also gets to the point where you realize, like, damn, like I wish my pop was in this house. Mm-hmm. Just to kind of make things free. Sometimes, my mom was real strict on me. Like I couldn't leave the house till I was like 12. Like couldn't leave. I couldn't go play basketball down the street. Like nothing, dude, nothing. It was bad. They were real strict on me, but it was just care.
Yeah. So like I just find it like because I grew up with predominantly women, and they're like love and support, even though sometimes they could be taken as like super strict. Yeah. It's just because it's out of love. Yeah. And it's just them trying to show you that they care about you. Mm-hmm. Especially in a world where like it is dangerous to be outside, and like they're seeing it from a different perspective than we are. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, they're just trying to take care of
they're just trying to take care of us for real.
So like growing up in Patterson, compared, because you mentioned that it's completely two different places from where you're growing mm-hmm. up now to where you were before. Mm-hmm. So what was it like having these two different experiences?
I mean, growing up in Elmwood Park, it was more like, I don't know, it was mainly like Hispanic kids. It was mainly Hispanic kids, black kids, Indians. Like there was really like no white. There was mm-hmm. really no Caucasian people. And to go from there and move out and go into a dominantly white area, like I go on my first day, I had Tim's on, like sweatpants, big ass coat, and I walk in a gym class and they're like, oh wow, look at the Tims, B, wow, da 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 da. They're clowning me, and I'm like, what? I'm fly, I think I'm fly. I'm like, what? And they big on me. Mm-hmm. I'm like, but that's when I start to realize, I'm like, wow, they really don't know. They're not around other cultures and other things where people might wear different things, say different things, act different. So it was definitely a big change, but I feel like I made the best out of it. Yeah, definitely made the best out of it.
I feel like there's a lot of positive ways you can look at it because you were able to experience two different ways of life, and I think to be able to have these two different experiences and know what this can be like and what also this is like, it's really beneficial when it comes to talking to people and networking.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like is a positive when you're looking at having these two different ways of life that you've been able to experience?
The positive, like, if you want me to be honest, like, you know, because I could go to Elmwood Park or Patterson or these areas and wild out if you want me to be real. And then, you know, I could go up to these areas and wild out, and it would be a crazy different reaction. So it's kind of cool because it gives you a sense of reality. It gives you time and place, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, it really teaches you time and place, when to act, how to act. And some people in life don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, some people in life never learn that. Like, they'll go out and act the same that they do inside, outside, here and there. You know what I'm saying? There's no difference. And I feel like it you know, some people may call it other things like whitewashing or whatever it is, but like in my sense, I would think it's like just using it to your advantage. You know, I can talk how I want in this way, and then I go for an interview and I know exactly how to act, exactly how to dress. And that's just from me being in these areas. I see these people, oh, why do they dress nice, this, that, and the third? Oh, but they got mad money in their pocket, you know?
And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, do you feel like there's different opportunities presented in those two different areas? Like,
oh my God,
not as many.
completely different opportunities. And even, you know, living in more central Jersey than going to North Jersey, it's very different with opportunities. A lot, you know, the money, even jobs, simple jobs, it's a lot more money in North Jersey when you come up, even into like upstate New York, stuff like that. Like down in central Jersey, it's kind of hard to find jobs that you're not really hurting yourself to make a dollar, you know?
And like one thing I definitely want to get into was obviously your music. Where is it that you feel like you found that passion for making music?
That was right. You know, it's funny. I'd always been like, even when I lived in the village and I went to 16th Ave Elementary, they asked us what we wanted to be when we grew up, and I got a picture somewhere, and I wrote rapper, right? And they gave me a microphone and a little sign, and they took a picture of me, and I still got that picture, and like, it was probably like I kind of flew through the grades after, like, not even thinking about it, and then like going into high school, I moved into the new area, and I was like, let me just try something. You know, like they listen to all of the music from down there, but they hate the people, or they hate the culture, whatever it is, or the noise, being honest. And so I was like, let me try to see if I could give it to them in a way that they might like. You know, something that would be a little easier for them to catch in, and then when they go in there, they could finally explore really open-minded.
Exactly.
It was cool. It was cool. Definitely, I use it to my advantage in the best way possible.
Got you. And like you consider yourself a rapper, right?
I consider myself a rapper, but I do consider myself an artist because I can sing like, ooh.
Yeah. Have you been able? Do you feel like what do you actually? I'm gonna rephrase that question. What do you enjoy more, the rapping and creating like this I guess the idea of the rhyming and everything, or the singing more?
That's a good question. You know, I really enjoy the rapping part and the rhyming part, only because like you could really like articulate yourself well. Like, you know, there's some artists, like even me, like when I go for those singing songs, like my main thing, I'm like, I can't be thinking about rapping right now. You know, I got to think, okay, what sounds good? What flows good? What is a consistent head bop? You know, like if one word stops a head bop or interrupts a head bop, then I can't. I got to rewrite the line. So I'm so sorry. Can you?
Yeah. So what do you enjoy more, the singing or the rapping?
So with rhyming, it's dope because, you know, I could really articulate myself well and not care to need to sound the best, you know, like flow-wise, voice-wise, whatever it is. And with singing, you know, I also appreciate it because I really learn to get my vocal range out there. I really can express myself, and I can show pain and emotion as well with rhyming, as well with singing. You know, singing, you could sing your pain. Rhyming, you could really just spit your pain and really put it on the paper and lay it out there on the floor.
All right. Well, I want to say first, if you guys hear any construction in the background, there's construction going on outside, I apologize. But hopefully you don't hear that, you know, too much. But just to continue on, right? Like, outside of music, what do you think is it that makes because there's obviously a business side to it. There's the idea of, you know, obviously gaining fame and making money. What do you feel like is it that makes you get to that point?
Me as an artist, what makes me want to, or what would make me?
What would make you?
or what I feel what would make an artist get to that point. Wow, it comes in a lot of factors. It comes with people you know, connections, as well as just how you are as an artist. Because there's some artists that, you know, portray themselves as an artist very well and don't get the attention they deserve. There's some people that don't portray themselves as an artist at all but get crazy artist attention. You know, it's very iffy. It's very iffy. It's about openings, opportunities as well. Like, there was one time I went to a show. There's an artist, Kai Stacks, right? She looked me out a while ago. I think she was under Lil TJ's management, and she had a show going on. I got reached out by somebody else locally, and they told me, hey, you know, it's a slot. It's a big show. This person's gonna be there. This celebrity, this celebrity, this celebrity, and like I thought that was like a prime opportunity. I was like, all right, how much? What's the price? Robbed me completely. Like, the dude robbed me, and I ended up going to the artist. I was like, hey, I'm happy to be performing with you. And they're like, oh, what's your name? I was like, CeezSoCrazy. They're like, nah, you're not on the list. And
Damn.
so I went through that. So there's very grimy opportunities that will arise to artists, but artists really got to look out. You know, you really got to look out and make sure that you're going down the right path. You know, you may think you're going down the right path, but in reality, you're throwing money away and you're not moving at all.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of people can't defer progress with paying. You know what I'm saying? People think, you know, they pay a lot. Oh yeah, I think I'm good, but your promo is really not there.
Exactly. And I do believe that, like, moments like that are really what make you, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, whether that's life experiences before making music to, you know, experiences while you're making music. And I have to ask, like, obviously, once you realize that you're not on the list and, you know, you're going through this time of it being in your head, like, how do you feel like you are able to get through these moments?
In those moments, like, you know, it was funny that I didn't find out from him, you know, from the person. It was cool that, you know, the artist told me, and she ended up looking me out. You know, that was like a blessing in disguise, you know, to be cursed. You know, yeah, I got robbed, but I still got to perform. Those guys got kicked off. His whole team got kicked off, and I got the slot instead. But I feel it's very tricky. It's like, I'm sorry, can you reinstate your question?
No, yeah.
So sorry.
No, you're good. Like, how do you get through moments, like, I guess, where you're struggling, you're trying to figure out where you fit, or maybe, like, you're going through a time in your life where it's difficult, and you're trying to...
There's no way to get around.
Exactly.
In situations like that, I try to think very positive. I'm an overthinker, so I try to underthink as much as possible. Like, if I just go with it, it'll be the best outcome. Even if, you know, there's repercussions, whatever it is, in my head, I'm like, look, I dealt with the repercussions and I didn't stress the whole time. Like, I very much try to not stress myself out, because I feel like the more you stress yourself out as a human, like, you're doing nothing but deteriorating your body.
Yeah.
You know, you're making yourself, you're making your lifespan, you know, decrease crazy, because you're just overthinking situations that in couple months, couple weeks, couple days, not gonna matter.
Exactly.
You know, like, there's a bunch of situations that you go through as an artist that you'll sit there and be like, damn, like, there is no way out, or there's no way that I'm gonna get around this or get past this block or get my music out to more people than I'm already getting it out to. And in those moments, you really got to think, well, what am I doing as an artist? Like, am I doing everything I need to be doing? Well, I could be doing a little better in promo. I could be doing a little better in how I'm sending people my songs. Am I being too much when I send people my? Should I stop sending them and try just keeping it to this? Or you know what I'm saying? Different platforms, whatever it is. There's a lot of different ways to go around it, and I think that a lot of people limit themselves and with overthinking.
Yeah. And, like, you mentioned that, you know, when you're overthinking, that you yourself, you think about the things that you can do to do better, obviously. What do you feel like, is that something that you feel like you might need to work on when it comes to you and your music career?
Right now? Oh, promotion. Promotion is, like, the biggest thing, as well as videos. But the problem with videos is you know, everything now is like, it's up there in price, you know? So to really get it, you got to sit there, plot, and it's one thing to just throw money away to a song that you don't care for. But me as an artist, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to spend this much money on a video, and I spent this much money on studio time for the song, I put this much pain and effort into this song, I'm going to make sure that it is the top tier, everything that I need it to be. And Some videographers, they're not, some, they'll take your ideas and they'll throw them out.
Mm-hmm.
Some will take them and, they'll actually commit to them. But it's about who you choose and what you go through as an artist to make those decisions correctly.
Gotcha.
Because you're gonna make bad decisions in business, but there's a lot of ways to go about it.
Gotcha. So this is a little bit more deep of a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like is it that makes you who you are?
The same thing that what makes anybody who they are, their path in life, decisions they made, and also regrets, stuff like that. Me as a person, I feel like, my whole life, it made me who I am, Do you have like, do you have like a sub question to that?
Like, what is it? Because obviously a lot of people that chase a dream, right?
Mm.
They see it like, for example, I see this as a way of being able to take my family out of the spot that they're at right now.
Oh yeah, of course.
So I feel like there's so many things that like you've been through in your life that the reason you became an artist is not only because you love it, but because it's gonna help everybody else around you. So, like, to basically all sum it up, what is it that basically motivates you so much, and what is it that really got you into this to be able to do for you and who you care about?
To stop seeing my parents stress. That was the main thing. Like, growing up, split parents. Like, I don't know your situation, but with split parents, like, it's good because, the outside will be like, oh, you got 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays, da-da-da-da. But, like, deep down, there's a lot behind the curtains. And with, stuff like that, like, I feel like I didn't want to see these people going at it no more. I didn't want to see these people having so much stress and anger and spite, whatever it is, whatever emotions it was. It's like, I don't want to have that for either of my parents. Like, if I could move this one over here and this one over here, and mansions, they don't got to ask for nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's a dream.
Yeah.
That's the dream. And then, I had my older brother and my little brother. I was like, all right, it'll be pretty dope to see us up somewhere, like, doing some cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. Like, just, of course, the fame as well, but definitely, like, to get my people into a better place and to have all financial problems with everybody just stomped,
And I think it's real, like, I think it's, I'm trying to look for the right word for it. The only word that's coming to mind right now is it's very amazing that you were able to really express that part of you, because I feel like there's a lot of men that come from split families that won't admit that it was hard living without one of the parents. And, at the end of the day, like, yes, you got to have the 2 Christmases, or you got to celebrate, double. But at the end of the day, like, when you're a young kid, you really don't want to see your mom and your dad fighting.
Yeah.
You'd rather them together being happy, but sometimes it just don't work out like that.
For real.
And I think that's very honorable. That's the word I'm looking for. Honorable that you're able to speak about that and basically say how you feel about it, because, like I said, a lot of men aren't cool with expressing that part of them.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of men are very emotionless.
Exactly. Why do you feel like that is?
I feel like it's also because of, like, how society makes things, the man has to be, the main provider, and that's no problem. That's how it's been forever. But I feel like with music, I'll say this as an example. With music that's coming out, that's being put out, like, even by female artists or even some male artists, it shows, like, the men have to have big bags, the best clothes, this, that, and the third. They have to fly you out here. They have to fly you out there. They broke boys don't get nothing. Like, so if we've been listening to this and it's been pumped into our ears and our systems for years and years and years, I feel like that's what it's being formed into. So a lot of men have folded back and it was like, all right, I'm just going to close these doors, and I can respect it. But, you also, I feel like me, like, just letting stuff out, like, it's kind of like putting my foot down a little bit, it's kind of just letting a peek inside. It's like I still have full access to limit you, if I don't want you to have certain information. But, you don't got to be a full open door to let stuff out.
And what I do got to say is that you're very vocal and you are able to express yourself very well. I think that a lot of people have difficulty doing that.
Yeah.
And I have to ask have you always been like this?
Yeah, man, I've been chatting for a minute. Yo, like, I'll be younger. I'll be like 5, 6, like just really talking and really like getting my vocabulary down. I'll be trying to get into adult conversations because they're not talking. The adults weren't talking about what the kids were talking about. The kids were talking about stuff. I wanted big words. I wanted to know. I wanted to know what was going on, and I've always been a talker. Like even class chatterbox, class clown, the whole nine. But I know that you were a motivational speaker. I don't know if you still are.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think I was going into middle school, and I had been chatting a lot, and I spoke to my teacher from the year before in the elementary, and she let me speak to my younger class. And I think when I finally I spoke to like a couple hundred kids, so I was like, and I was very young, so I was like, okay, like I like that feeling. So I tried to chase that feeling, and I feel like just talking, it's what are you gonna do? Not talk? What are you gonna do? Not express yourself? Keep everything bottled up? You're gonna hurt yourself, man. Like really, you got to be able to express yourself. Like Creator gave you a mouth to speak. Words for a reason. I don't think nobody should be like shushed.
Exactly. And that's what I was literally about to ask you. Like, the fact that you're so vocal and, you express yourself very well, I also want to get into that part where you said that you spoke to a bunch of kids. But before we get into that, why do you feel like it's so important for people to just express themselves and how they feel?
There's a lot of people that I see and people that I have in my life now, and even me at sometimes, where I won't tell nobody nothing that's going on, none of the problems and none of the battles that I face. And I'll do this for like a couple weeks to a month or two, and then everybody around me is trying to like push away from me. And I'm like, why? Mind you, I'm bugging out. I'm angry all the time, stressed out, anxious, my nerves all over the place. I'm quick to bug out. And I'm like, and when I start to realize that, I'm like, damn, like I got to kind of reel it in. I feel like people shouldn't keep it all bottled in. There's so many cases, like even real cases of things that have happened, and it's just people that have been quiet forever. They have so much childhood trauma, so much trauma in their life going on, and they keep it quiet, and then they just one day snap. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. That's not my story. That's not my story.
So, and for you to be talking, because I know what that feeling is like. Like everybody that's watched this, and if you watched from earlier episodes, a lot of people know that I did motivational speaking. That feeling of getting on stage and talking to a group of kids and just trying to bring positivity to the world is a different feeling. I did that when I was older. You did that when you were younger.
Yeah.
So I feel like that just says enough about your character and what your motives are to just not only be an individual, a person walking on this earth, but an artist. You know what I mean? To try to bring positivity, try to bring a different environment to music that isn't there currently. So why do you feel like it's so important to help the youth?
That these are going to be our leaders. You know what I'm saying? Like, in reality, like, if you're not trying to be president, I'm not trying to be president, one of these kids are going to be president. One of these kids are going to be senator, governor, people who are making our taxes, people who are doing all these political moves and making things that are supposed to be making things right.
Yeah.
If us as, their elders, do nothing besides pump bad or negative out there, they're going to do nothing but grow up to be negative, or if not, consciously, then subconsciously they're going to be negative or have a negative outlook on life. And that's not right. I have a little brother, baby sister. Like, I always try to tell them, like, yo, be easy, be a kid, don't relax. Like, just relax. There's no reason to bug out or have or overthinking, nothing like that. The youth is really who's going to lead this world.
And I think that sometimes because I'm generation, I believe I'm Gen Z. Yeah, I'm Gen Z, right? That's my generation. And I'm not really proud of my generation right now. Because
I'm not either. Boy.
Are you Gen Z?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And just to say, like, my bad. Like, everyone's looking for an excuse to, bug out. Everybody's looking for an excuse to, like, for example, I brought this example up before, but when Kai Cenat went to New York and kids was jumping on cars, breaking everything, like, that wasn't his motives, but these kids aren't, you know what I mean? Like, they're not who we are, you know what I mean? Like, I sometimes do feel a little distant from my own generation because I'm not like that. And I think there's a big divide between us because I don't know if it was the COVID. I don't know if it was like the way that maybe they were raised, but it just feels like everybody younger than I am, or a little bit younger than like I guess a couple years down the line from me, it's just like everyone's looking for an excuse to act out.
To act out, yeah.
And
I think COVID did that to a lot of people, at least. And if, you know, I feel like you got to think, everybody was on quarantine for at least a year. You know, at least a year, you're not seeing as many people as you were seeing.
Yeah.
And, you know, naturally as a human, you know, you go out, you talk to however many people a day, that builds your people skills naturally. To not talk to anybody besides your family members, close friends, whatever it is, and then to then go out into the open world, like when all the what was it, the laws and barriers, whatever, were undone, everybody was bugging out, especially in Florida. That was the main one.
Yep.
And that, I feel like that's just crazy to me. Like, that's just crazy. I feel like people took that time in there, lost all their social skills, went out, had no social skills at all, and lost their mind.
It's crazy that, like, a time period like that, because, you know what I mean? Like, we're past it right now, right? Yeah. I know that as of right now, everything's on the rise again. But it's
gonna be in the history books. Yeah, man. It's gonna be in some textbooks soon.
It's just crazy the fact that when it comes to those social skills, when it comes to, you know, like you said, like our generation, a lot of kids lost that, and you can see it. Like no one, like me and you, can sit and have a conversation. I go back and talk to a kid maybe who's 16 years old, 17 years old. They won't know how to hold a conversation like this anymore. Yeah. Like, it's just different. And I think that's something that people need to start building on again. Socializing, like, and I guess having real conversations instead of, you know, talking about random stuff. Because I feel like everybody is easy to catch on to either drama or, you know, the latest thing that's going on. You feel me? But there's things that I know that people are going on within themselves that they just can't talk about because they don't know how to. So they relate and they divert it with these kind of things. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's important. Well, that's what I want to get into. Do you feel like social skills need to be brought back up?
Social skills do need to be brought back up heavily. I feel like a lot of people, I mean, even it's all about the kids though. If we want to get back to it, it's literally all about the youth. Excuse me.
You're good.
A lot of the kids now are tablet kids. Like, not even, like, my little brother's a tablet kid. My baby sister, she's a tablet kid. And, you know, it sucks to say, but that's really like that's really what is gonna affect them when they get older. You know, they're gonna be so used to looking at a screen. Like, yeah, they play with kids, but there's no let's go outside and play.
Exactly.
If it's not an electronic or this or that, like, there's some kids that'll play tag out still, but it's very, very rare. Like, I don't see, like, you know, I used to be in the village and I was one of the kids that would play in the courts, and it would be a bunch of us. You know, I drive past those villages all the time now, and it's completely empty. But I see kids walking home from school, they go into the houses, but you're not coming out. You know, like, no kids go out to play no more. It's all electronic or with something. You need something to entertain yourself.
It's crazy, bro. I sometimes when you look at it like that, when you look at the things as such as, like what you said, like going to the parks that you used to go to.
Yeah.
I remember getting invited. Like, it was like we would go into high school, be like, all right, yo, it's nice outside. Let's plan it. Let's go to the park. Go play basketball. We all go play basketball, get home late, chill out, go in the house, maybe even play 2K a little after. And then I go pass by those same parks now, and there's nobody playing.
It's dead.
And it's like completely different to see. Like, I do think that parents, I hope that I don't know if there's a setting on like tablets or whatever, but I do
there's
think
screen time. There's like they can do screen time, but they don't do
that
it
exactly.
though.
I think it should be enforced, bro, because like that's like you said, it's the biggest thing that's taken away from these social skills and people being able to be together, and it also deteriorates your body if you're sitting still just playing a game all day. It's
especially
not,
with the
bro. It's just like you have to take some time to really like go out and talk to people again. And I think that like my biggest thing is like I don't know what I would do if I couldn't do what I'm doing right now, which is talking to you, right? Because I'm talking, I'm able to express myself, and it's a time where I'm getting to know a person every single new episode. So it's just crazy that there's people right now that would prefer not to talk to nobody.
Yeah, I bet you feel like the man. You got mad connections.
I try. But just to get back into like, you know, yourself and your music career,
of course,
what is it that makes you different from, what do you feel like is it that makes you different?
What I feel that makes me different is, at least right now for East Side music, I'll just solely talk on East Side because I can't talk for West Side or anybody else. East Side music I feel right now is solely based on drill, mainly New York. That's solely based on drill.
Mhm.
Anybody there will have their whole playlist filled with it, or if not complete straight drill, then at least some subgenre of drill that's
Mhm.
very hard, whatever it is. I feel that I try to come with like a little softer vibe. You know, some of my inspirations are like 50 Cent, like his whole club movement
Mhm.
was like my big thing. I was like, wow, like this dude had clubs like just going crazy. Like the minute that you heard the first couple strings,
Mhm.
and you know, yeah, he was hard. Like,
Yeah.
he was like he was like real hard.
I don't think 50 sometimes get the credit he deserves.
He doesn't. And you know, I'm not only talking with music. I'm
Mhm.
saying, you know, he was soft in the studio when he needed to be, and hard in the streets when he needed to be as
Mhm.
well. And you know, I try to take the soft in the studio approach more. Like, you know, I try to be soft in the studio, something that'll be easier for somebody to hear. You know, a lot of people now you gotta kind of like squinch your ears, tilting, like what he say? Oh, I can't. He's either yelling or mumbling.
Yeah.
And you know, I try to hit it in like a nice singing tone, something smooth.
But I can agree to that because like what my biggest thing is that when I bring people on to the podcast, I do obviously listen to your music beforehand. I told you off camera that I think that your music is very catchy. And what I can say is that you definitely pointed out something in 50's thing that I'm now connecting with yours is that little catch before the music, the you start to rap on it. Or you start to
the
sing
few
on
instruments that you hear
because it's very, I hear a little bit of string instruments in there. Like it's a cool like vibe. It gives me like you know that one guy who plays the ukulele when rappers?
Ernie
Yes.
Bank, yeah.
Yeah, I know he got his name wrong, but we know
I
what
might have got
about.
his name wrong.
But he like I hear that little bit of like the string instrument playing in the background, and it's like, damn, this shit is like the beat's hard. He's going crazy on it, and it's just like I definitely can feel what you're saying, how you are different from artists that are out right now. Because with a lot of people, when it comes to the singing movement and rap, you know, a lot of people say A Boogie started the singing rap, right? And I don't completely agree with that, but I think it's because we're on the East Coast and like he really
that's
did it
just
over
who
here.
did it over here. Really
Exactly.
like popped off. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I do think that like I can't compare you to an A Boogie because I don't feel like you guys compare in any way. But I do think you're doing something that I haven't heard before, which I don't say much. I feel like there's a lot of artists that do take from one another, but I like when I hear something real and different. So who is an artist that you would like to work with?
Wow. Artist in what genre?
Doesn't matter. Any.
Oh, okay. Look, artists for like a singing type of song, I want Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
Been like scoping on Ed Sheeran, yo. For rapping, probably Cole. Probably Cole. Yeah. Like
That's
just simple. Like, you know, dead or alive, I have to say Juice. Like Juice was one of my big inspirations coming up, and I really like him. Like if I could have hopped on a song with him, that would be the one.
Okay. I do want to ask. I never really done this before, but I want to ask because my sister's a big country fan, right? Would you ever tap? Well, let's do this. Would you do country? Would you tap it with a country artist or, let's just say a reggae artist? Too. I like both.
I ain't gonna front.
Yeah?
I'll do both. Look, I don't like listening to country.
Okay.
But I like the sound of country,
Okay.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand, like, it's a very calming sound. Like, a lot of it is calming music.
Cause look at that one song Lil Durk did with Morgan Wallen. You seen that?
Oh, yeah. I seen that one.
So, like,
Lil Uzi did a country song, like, a couple years back with some
Really?
kid, like, a while ago, yeah.
Oh, I gotta check
Like,
it
Uzi
out.
went to Texas or something for the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But yeah, I thought it was a cool question because I think they're like there's genres outside of the mainstream stuff that I feel like people should tap into because like a Lil Durk did it, Lil Uzi Vert did it. Drake went to reggae and did some.
Yeah.
Drake also did UK drill.
Yeah,
like, tap
UK
into
drill,
different
I
things.
would love to tap in with a UK artist. Like, there's an
Central
artist.
C.
He's hard, but our names are too close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be crazy to see CeezSoCrazy
And Central C?
featuring Central C, like, or even vice versa. It'll just be a little too much.
Gotcha.
But like, there's an artist named Nems.
Yeah.
Nems, he's hard. Like him, like I think me and my other boy from my team, my brother reached out, but you know he ain't responding.
Not yet. But I also realized that people need to respect the fact that there's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
levels.
Like it's no disrespect. It's not, I also don't think it's the fame got to nobody's head. It's just the fact that the same way these people work for what they got right now, they need to see you working.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just an artist coming up, they don't know, they haven't heard of you yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least let me hear of you. Let me see your music. Let me hear you out. Because a lot of artists are looking for an easy way to the top, and Lil Durk didn't get an easy way to the top.
Yeah.
Drake didn't get it easy. Like, it's all a process for you to be able to get to where you need to get to.
Most definitely.
So people need to respect that level stuff, and I experienced that myself. When I first started my podcast, I was hitting up people with millions of followers, and nobody was hitting me back.
Yeah.
I just started.
Yeah.
Now those millions, or maybe like the hundreds of thousands of people with followers, they're hitting me back now,
Mm-hmm.
because they're starting to see that I'm gaining traction. And
Yeah, you're doing
it's
what you're
worth
supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all levels to this. Do you feel like it's the same way?
Most definitely. I was just talking to my man about it. I believe yesterday, and we were talking about how working with artists and like reaching out with artists.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, dude, like, how do we go about it? Like, how should I go about it? Da 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 da. And like, we've all been there as an artist. Like, I'm pretty sure we've all been there where we're like, okay, we're looking at somebody's page that we want to work with. We might be like, okay, let me hit them up. Some people might go real like casual, like, yo, let's work, whatever it is. And there's some people that, you'll contact that they'll be very easy to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other people who are very like kind of like hard on you, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And in those, like, just like you said, there's levels to it. Some artists, I do feel, let the fame get to their head, in a sense. I feel like some artists definitely did, but most artists don't. Most artists do, work for what they get. And we were just talking about working and how you would reach out to an artist like that's way bigger. You would reach out to an artist that's way bigger, and you would kind of send them like a little portfolio or something. Like an artist that's a little closer to you, you could hit them on something casual.
Mm-hmm.
Artist that's kind of in between, give them like something small but something very straight to the point for business. Because I've DM'd artists, I've sent them paragraphs, and I've got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's times I've sent them 1-2 words. I've gotten conversation that scrolls.
Yeah.
It's all different, but you're very correct. Now there is levels to this.
Got you. So what I do want to ask, I want to get back into the personal stuff. So who was Caesar before CeezSoCrazy?
Damn, Caesar before CeezSoCrazy. That's a great question. Wow, that gave me some goosebumps, man. Damn, man. Just a Hispanic kid from Jersey. That's about it. I started music as Ceez. And that was like my first official name, going by something that I could really carry with me, like that I was happy about a name.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had a bunch of like little names, like Young this, Lil that, but before I like actually took it serious, like then I reverted to Ceez, and that was kind of me finding myself as an artist, and I wanted something that was just a little bit catchier, something a little bit catchier to the name, because I was getting cheese. People will say cheese, Ceez, whatever, and I was like, nah, man, let me get something a little catchier, something that flows off the tongue a little more. So I added the CeezSoCrazy, CeezSoCrazy, and I didn't do that until I moved up to New York. I lived in Long Island for like 2-3 years.
Okay.
And when I lived up there, it was only for summers, because my mother was staying out there, and living out there, my music really got its play. Like I really got the attention, and that's where I built my name. Really, CeezSoCrazy. That's where I got the attention that I was looking for. Met some of the connections that I was looking for. Made most of my music there, stuff like that.
Gotcha. And even before, let's just go back to even creating the name CeezSoCrazy, right?
Yeah.
So who was Caesar personally?
Elaborate. That's a deep ass question. That's a very vague but deep question. So I want to know like exactly what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're younger, you're still trying to figure yourself out.
Yeah.
So, especially because, you may have heard things such as like, when you decided I wanted to become a rapper after, the constant battle, the mental battle of trying to figure out what you actually wanted to do. And people being like, maybe even your parents just being like, I don't know, or like even when like you started making music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people were just like, here you go, here's another person trying to make music.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you feel like it was a difficult time for you?
It was very difficult, and You know, to be honest, like I've always been very like heavily into music, even when I was younger. So I always seen myself doing something in music, even when I was younger. But rapper was just at the time because, you know, I was listening to whoever that was hot at the time. And I definitely do feel like it's difficult as an artist to come up, and especially when you're literally coming from zero, when you haven't had you're just changing your Instagram name, or you're just making a YouTube account that's for your artist's music and whatnot. I feel like it is very difficult to get past the trying to find the word, like the BS, basically, you know, because you're going to get, of course, your parents, they're going to be like, okay, well, how serious are you? Oh, no, I'm real serious. Of course, they're going to be like, look, it's a stupid idea, but I'm with you. You know, there's going to be some people that's going to say it's a stupid idea and just it's a stupid idea. And, you know, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry. But, you know, going through that as an artist, I feel like you really got to push that to the side. You have no other choice. The main thing you want as an artist is to be looked at as an artist. You know, you want to be looked at proper. You want to be looked at, you know, when they go to your page or even see your name on whatever, they're like, okay, him, the artist, the dude who makes music, whatever it is. And, you know, people as well, you know, it depends on the sound you're coming with. You know, you can have a lot of, I guess, comebacks, you could say. You know, like if you're coming with a basic drill and somebody's like, dude, you're doing everything. Well, they're winning. I'm winning too. You can say that. You know, if you're doing something different, they're like, oh, what are you doing? Nobody, that's mad different. That's mad weird. Yeah, it's different. I'm going to get there. You know, just for all different ways, you really got to put the BS straight behind you. You have to put it behind you, close the door, and think, look, if this is what you want to do, stop overthinking. You're going to sit there, overthink. You're going to throw so much garbage in your brain, really. Like, oh, well, what if this doesn't work out? What if this doesn't work out? What if this doesn't work? And at the end, you're going to be like, oh, I don't want to do this. Mind you, then at that point, you've already spent 2-3 years making music, doing this, but yet you don't want, you're struggling. You're struggling because you put yourself in that mental box, you know? Like, oh, I don't know how exactly to really take it on. And artists just need to find a good support group as well. Support system is very much a necessity. Like I have my team, FMB. I got you know, my brothers that I've been working with for years on there. And when I know everybody else that I around or all my listeners, they hate the last drop I just did, I'll just call the group chat and I'll be like, yo, man, like I'm down. Like, dude, they don't like it, whatever it is. I'm not getting the play. I'm not getting the likes, or maybe 10 people consistently listening, but nobody else is listening. I don't know why. You know, they'll be the first one to be like, yo, relax. You know, just be easy. That's just one drop. You got another one lined up, right? Yeah, sometime. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. It's all about patience and having a support group. And if you don't have a support group, then you need to have that mental strength to really push through and put all of it behind you.
Exactly. So this is going to be my last thing I'm going to say before we go into our ending questions, because we are getting close to the end. I just want to go off of what you said on those people. You know, sometimes people are going to be like, that's a stupid idea. And I feel like everything is corny until you make it and it's not corny anymore. You feel me? Like, if you want to be an artist, if you want to be a clothing brand owner, if you want to be a podcaster, if you want anything that you want to be in life, and people are telling you that's corny, or it's a YouTuber, if you're telling people, oh, I want to be a YouTuber, and they're like, that's corny, here comes another person, it's corny until you make it. Because all of a sudden it's not corny anymore because you did it. So just don't stop. This is my little piece, is just don't stop doing it. Like, follow your passions, and that's where I want to get into the question is, why do you feel like people should just follow their passions?
I feel that, you know, everybody was put on this earth for a reason. You know, I'm not too religious, but I am religious. But I am going to say, you know, you were put here for a reason. You know, you, a motivational speaker, you were put on this earth to talk and you know, I guess not preach, but preach. You know what I'm saying? You were meant to get messages out, to be the messenger. You know, make people feel good, make people feel comfortable with, you know, your conversation, whatever it is. I feel like me as a person, I was made here to entertain. You know, make music, to create. That there, you know, there's times that you're gonna sit there and you're gonna be like, damn, like I really don't know what I'm gonna do in my life. It's all right. You got time. There's no need to put yourself too far back, because I feel like you just push yourself farther back when you go through those struggles and you attack yourself. You know, naturally humans just attack ourselves. Like, oh damn, what am I doing wrong? You might be doing everything right. You just gotta wait. You know. everybody has something that they like, and it sucks because I know people even in high school, they're like great artists, but their parents want them to be a doctor. So what they do after high school, they're a doctor. I'll talk to them now. Yo, you still draw? Yeah, but I fell off. Damn, mind you, they were drawing portraits, something that you could put in a museum, something that can go here, but they limited themselves. Their support system was faulty. They didn't look for a new one. They didn't really they weren't truly passionate about it. If you're truly passionate about something, you will do everything in your power to get to where you need to get to.
This is the only questions I'm going to go ahead and go ask them. So we're going to start off with basically, what is it that keeps you up at night? What is it that wakes you up every morning and maybe even keeps you up at night to do what you're doing right now?
Ooh, say it one more time. It just sounded nice.
What is it that wakes you up every morning, maybe even keeps you up at night to do what you're doing right now?
I can't be a bum. Just saying it in layman's terms, I guess you could say, I don't want to be anything less than I am now. I want to do nothing besides progress. And that's in every way possible, even little things. I wake up and I try to take away all negativity out of my day from start to finish, anything. And, I feel like those things, just how to progress in life keeps me up all the time. How am I going to get over this? How is there a way for me to stop thinking bad about this? Is there a way for me to start thinking good about this? All those things, they definitely, they're the first thing I think about and definitely what keeps me up at night.
What is the message that you would give to your future self?
Man, that's some weight to that question right there. What would I tell my future self looking back, man? The process is worth it. I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to savor every moment, good and bad.
Gotcha. All right, so we are at the end. My last question. What do you want the world to know about CeezSoCrazy?
I want them to know CeezSoCrazy is for the kids, CeezSoCrazy is for the youth, CeezSoCrazy is the future.
All right. We are at the end of the podcast. This is your opportunity. The camera's now all yours. If there's anything you got going on, anything you got coming up, or anything you want to say at all, this is your time.
CeezSoCrazy on all platforms. That's CeeZ, so crazy, all one word. I got an album coming out most likely towards the new year, probably January, February. It'll be coming out. No title as of yet, but definitely working on it. Shout out FMB the Mob. CeezSoCrazy, you know what's going on.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end it off. CeezSoCrazy, I just want to say I appreciate you for being here.
I appreciate you for having me, my brother.
Of course. It was a great conversation. I think I did a great job today. I was a little rusty in the beginning.
It's all right. This is my first time, bro.
Yeah, we're moving. But I just want to say for everybody that's watching, please, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, leave a comment, let me know your favorite part. If you're still on YouTube, you see I'm a little rusty. I'm getting to it. I'm trying. If you're still on YouTube, people on YouTube, please, I said subscribe, I said comment. Please leave a like. Please leave a like. Put on post notifications so you never miss a future episode. Audio platforms, please leave a review. It allows me to get more people to find the platform. I also like reading your comments and your reviews to let me know what I got to do better or if I'm doing a great job. I appreciate you very much. Other than that, if you're new here, welcome to the Community Pod. And we're out. Peace.
Those.